Who are we investing in? That's number 4. So let's go back. What's my personal worship time like? What kind of conversations are we having? Again, you can just observe and get that. 3, what causes us to pray? And number 4, who are we investing in? Are there people we're having over? I am not a very hospitable person. I wish I was. If there's a game on, I'm much more hospitable than if I have to entertain you. I'm just not a good entertainer guy. My wife is much better than I am. And so what we need to invest in other couples, other people, other relationships, other people in your life that you're investing in. We have some people in and out of our house right now that we feel like we are making an investment in. We have some people even from a distance, that are not in our house that we feel like we're making an investment in. But everyone in the home kind of knows about these relationships so that we're all on the same page. So sometimes you can have people in your home who, they're a little rough around the edges. Well, if your kids know I'm trying to make an investment in that person, that's one thing. Never let that person around your kids alone, though. If you have any smarts about you, okay? I'm not trying to, make a bigger case than what it is. I'm saying if you're making an investment in a person because you're trying to disciple them, evangelize them, whatever, you own that. You take responsibility for that. But there can be relationships and people that come into your house that you're making investments in. My wife has some relationships I'll come home and I'll see the car in the driveway, and that's a lady in her small group, or that's a lady that she texts in her discipleship or whatever. Great. We know what's going on here. So who are we investing in right now? What kind of relationships are we investing in? Maybe you say nobody. Maybe you feel like you don't have the time to invest in anybody. Well, I will say this, just finding the margin at once a month, let's say, and having someone over to connect and get to know them, whatever, is one of the greatest investments you can make in your marriage. And I say that as an introverted guy who is not hospitable at all, but when it's over, you're better for it. And it's biblical. It's biblical. I think we neglect it. I know a lot of people who go, yeah, I'm not going to do it. Okay, well, it's in there for a reason. It's in there because you learn as much about yourself as you do about those people. And especially if they have kids or anything that's in the same season, whatever, like, man, that's low-hanging fruit. For us, looking back, there were people that made an investment in us, and I thought they were just being our friends. They made an investment in us, and I look back, and they were 10, 15, maybe, I don't know, years older than us, where their kids were almost watching our kids. And I see that now as, man, I'm so thankful for them. I'm so thankful that they modeled marriage, and they modeled a Christian home, and they modeled what serving the church and loving each other looks like, because it was an example for my wife and I. I don't know if my wife needed it as much as I needed it. So who are you investing in? You might say nobody. Listen, $5, you can go to Little Caesars and get one of the fantastic hot and ready pizza. Hot is debatable, but ready pizzas. And you can get a $5 pizza. You do not have to lay out the whole, whatever. You don't need a fondue thing, or you don't need a whole cheese tray. Just bring them over, or say, hey, we're going to drive. I think we had friends. We did do this. We had friends. They would go drive through somewhere. We would drive through somewhere, and we'd all come back together at our house and we'd eat our drive-through food. Nobody spent a dime on someone. We didn't have the money to do that. They knew that, but who are you inviting into your house? Sometimes we're always waiting to be invited to someone else's house. You got a backyard? Let them in it. You got a garage? Pop the door up. Get out some camping chairs, whatever. It doesn't have to be fancy.